No win in the last 10 games, 3 points from a possible 30. And now we go away to Anfield. Welcome to the match preview. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're having a fantastic day and welcome to your match preview for Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. Guys, firstly, apologies. That Manchester United game literally made me physically sick to the point where I had the flu for the last few days and I'm pretty much over it. So apologies, there's been no daily videos over the last 2 or so days. But to be honest with you, it probably would have been me moaning about that Varchester game. But that is in the rear view mirror. We look forward and we look ahead to Anfield. Look, I'll tell you straight from now, we ain't winning this. This is a case of how much, not who. The only way we win this game is if we had 11 of this man out there playing in every position. But we don't. We only have one of him. But let's get into the video. We will be going through the potential predicted Steve Cooper lineup, which is an absolute headache to do. We'll have a look at the Liverpool lineup. We'll give you my predictions. We'll talk about maybe how this game can be won and lost. But before we do all that, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Forest Fan TV, and buckle in because it's going to be straight talk. I don't know. Let's get into it. All right, so it's crunch time, ladies and gents. 7 games to go, 7 World Cup finals, 7 FA Cup finals, whatever your take is, whatever the way this goes. Forest cannot just write this game off. I know it's Liverpool, I know it's Anfield, I know we just haven't won there in donkey's years, but we are still their bogey team. And despite Steve Cooper's negative tactics, I'm going to try and put a case together. No, I'm not. We can't win. We can't win. And I'll show you why when we get into what I think the predicted team's going to be. In fact, let's jump into that now and let's go have a look at it. All right, so let me just reiterate, this is under no circumstances what I would choose personally. Of course, let me know down in the comments below, after you've hit that like button and subscribed if you haven't already, what you would go with. But I think this is going to be it, subject to a couple of injuries coming back, etc. Now, why do I say this? I think Cooper wants his beloved 3-back formation, or in his case, 5-back formation, back in full operation. And I do think Worrell will be put in ahead of McKenna, which just means a little shuffle across for Niakhaté and Felipe. I mean, Felipe can play anywhere, couldn't he? He could literally put him up front. So I think that will be the back 3. It's definitely going to be a back 3. It would blow my mind why he would go with the back 3 when I'm still going to bang the drum on that Niakhaté and Felipe between them can hold any attacking lineup to a decent standard. You don't need that spare wheel. McKenna, although was okay, was a spare wheel. Didn't really need him against Man United. And Worrell, I mean, he's just a spare part, not even a spare wheel. But anyway, with the wing backs, Lodi will come in, and I think even if Aurier is fit, if he does go for a back 5, he still will choose Nico Williams ahead of Aurier. One, because Aurier won't be match sharp, and secondly, because Nico Williams is actually not too bad in a 5-back. Now, here's where it gets interesting. We got flooded. Anyone could see, and I screamed about it during the day and the player ratings and everything after, that in the midfield with the 2, in this formation, we got completely flooded. So he has to put another body in there. The question is, what will that body be? And who will get dropped for him? Now, I reckon he will go Mangala, Danilo, and Freuler. Maybe Shelvey instead of Freuler. Maybe this might be the game for him against his old club, etc. I still got a sneaky feeling that Yates is near fitness, and I think Yates might be thrown in as a desperate measure. And if Yates come in, he probably will go in for Mangala, I would guess. I think Cooper's grown quite fond of Danilo, as have I, to be honest. I mean, we said from the start of the window, chuck him in, he's good. I'm just not sure what will happen up front. I'm not even convinced he will go with the 3 in the midfield. He may go with the 2 and sacrifice, say, Mangala again and go Freuler and Danilo, and then instead of the Mangala, put Awoniyi up front. I know this is going to sound weird, but if this was the formation he goes with, he's got to start playing players who are suited to these positions. For me, Johnson's probably been top 3 players of the season so far for us, but he is not an out-and-out 9. He is better served on a right-hand side, and this formation would not suit him. The smart thing here would be to put a Wonyi there if you are going to play in this formation who can hold up the ball a little bit. If you want to play Johnson, then he has to go with a 4-3-3. This won't work otherwise. And then probably MG Dub in the hole. Look, he's completely off form at the moment, but he's favourites FC. He's favourites FC for me as well. But even I would contemplate dropping him for a game or two and giving, if Scarpa's back fit, trying Scarpa in there and give the damn Brazilian wizard a run in the team. But I just feel that, look, come what may, come what formation he chooses, come what personnel he chooses, come whatever he chooses, I guarantee you this is another Plan A Cooper performance of low block football. So, if you're operating heavy machinery come 3 o'clock, just be careful you don't fall asleep, because he is going to go deep. The problem is, once Liverpool score their first goal, and score their first goal they will, what happens next? I don't think Cooper will change anything. I think he will just try and keep the score respectable. And as far as I'm concerned, that makes no sense. We already have the worst goal difference in the league. We already have the joint fewest goals scored in the league. So what is he trying to protect exactly? Honestly, right now, losing 1-0 to Liverpool or 7-0 to Liverpool, yeah, Man U, hold that, makes no difference. It literally makes no difference. The way he should treat this game is that if he wants to start with this low block tactic and we do go a goal or two behind, then he might as well just let the handbrake go and either we get tonked 7-0 or we get back into the game and draw 2-2. It's got to be one of those ones. He has to change his mentality towards it. This is never in a million years the team I would go for. I personally would play the back 4. I'd go with a 3 in midfield on this one. I would also look to drop MGW for one match, and for me, Dennis would be the one that needs to start. I'll tell you why, and we'll talk about it in a second. But this is the team I think Cooper's going with. Let me know if you agree or not. All right, let's touch on the Liverpool team. And this is the team that lined up against Leeds. And if you didn't see us with the legends at Coppish, make sure you subscribe to them as well. Go check out our match preview from yesterday with Callum. It was absolutely fantastic. And I tend to agree with what he was saying, that basically why change a winning team? They've just gone to Leeds and tonked them 6-1. Remember that Leeds team that we went 1-0 up on and decided to go low block on instead of attack them? I mean, it shows you what was there for the taking had we shown a little pair of balls on that. But anyway, that's in the past. So I don't think they're going to change much. I do think, however, their midfield 3 isn't great. It's not great. I think Henderson is... I've never rated Henderson. I know, controversial, but I haven't. And he is getting old. Fabinho, I really do like. But again, getting a bit leggy. Curtis Jones, hit and miss for me. It depends. Maybe Thiago comes in. I don't know what he's like fitness-wise. But our midfield 3 is potentially gettable. They don't like a physical performance against them. So if Yatesy was fit, definitely Danilo, players like that. That's why I'd probably, personally, I know it's not a popular choice, but maybe Shelvey instead of Freuler in a matter of desperation to really get stuck in against them. Probably give them a penalty as well. But the interesting thing to talk about is Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. He doesn't really play right back now. Basically, Klopp is just really copying what Pep is doing and what Arteta are doing. So Zinchenko, for example, for Arsenal, is playing as an inverted left back. I think that's what they're calling it now, where instead of looking to go outside for the overlaps, they kind of double up into the midfield, creating an extra body in midfield. Then the other 3 in defense will shuffle across to cover, and then it works the other way around. It's actually genius how it does work. Don't expect it from our lot, though. No chance. So what that does, that gives them the extra body. And what's been happening is Trent has been playing as this secondary auxiliary midfielder, and it's been working for them in the last couple of games. But what Trent hasn't done is improved his defending. He's still a shocking defender. Now the problem is, as I've been crying about all season, we don't have a balanced team. Most of our attack comes down the right-hand side, which in this case would be the Liverpool left-hand side, which comes against one of their more adapted, well-versed defenders in Robertson, who's pretty good and can potentially hold off Jono if Jono starts to drift out wide. Now, to counter this, we should play Dennis. It's that simple. It doesn't matter about anything else. It just matters about stretching Trent back out into his position and potentially giving him a headache there. If we play in that formation I showed you in a second ago where it was like a 5-3-1-1, there's no width, and that just gives up that part of the pitch to Liverpool. Therefore, their fullbacks have nothing to worry about, stuff going in behind them. The only time they would need to worry about that is if Nico Williams gets down the wing and Lodi gets down the wing, but we never really see Lodi progressing too far forward. It's always, again, down our right-hand side. The only time Lodi gets forward is if he has someone like Dennis in front of him where they can try and double up. But don't expect these tactics, because we're not going to see it. We're going to see low block football. Obviously, we had a discussion with Callum about Gakpo playing in the middle, or Gakpo as I call him, in the middle or out on the left. I'm joking, Liverpool fans. I actually think he's decent. But for me, he's not a false nine. I would play him out on the left. Problem Liverpool have got is they've got 3 class left wing players in Gakpo, Jota and Diaz as well. And then Nunes, for me, I'd play Nunes down the middle if I was Klopp. But don't care. I'm not looking to improve their team. It's already a pretty good team. Virgil has been their weakness this season. We have to get in on him. Potentially, again, that's why I'd go with Awoniyi if Cooper goes for that 5-3-1-1 formation, because Awoniyi could go up against Virgil. Remember, Awoniyi, ex-Liverpool player, will know a lot of these players, has trained with a lot of these players. But it doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. We can sit here and talk about this till we're blue in the face. This one, with our away record, with our form, with no points, no wins, in the last 10, 11 games, whatever it is, I'm kind of losing count of all of it at the moment. We are in a downward spiral, and it's a downward spiral that is very worrying. And honestly, I think if Forest get a slapping here, Cooper may end up going, because Marinakis will lose patience. Remember that statement. The performances and the results, those 2 keywords, need to improve immediately. Since he released that statement after the Leeds game, I haven't seen improvements. I'll be straight with you, in neither the performance or the results. So Cooper may need to come out swinging on this one to at least show a little fight, even though that won't be enough to win this one. Liverpool are coming good. Liverpool have been good at Anfield all season, despite them having an up and down season in general and being in a completely false position to what they are used to. But let's turn it positive and let me tell you why Forest may have a chance at a stretch. And I'm stretching here. I'm stretching. But for the few that want the positives we all want the positives, but for the few who are holding on to the positives of this season, Liverpool are on the beach. They cannot get Champions League. They'd literally have to win every game going and hope that 4 or 5 teams above them mess up. Likelihood of that happening, very, very slim. If I was Liverpool, I'd be looking to rebuild for next season with no midweek European football, especially not conference football. As things stand, that's kind of where they're aiming at. So I would want to avoid that if I was them. But I think they'll still end up in the Europa spot potentially. So although they're on the beach, they're not fully on the beach. The other thing to remember with Liverpool is after they tonked Manchester United 7-0 at Anfield, they went to Bournemouth and held a 1-0 L with Salah missing a goddamn penalty. And God, how much has that cost us? Seriously, Liverpool. You and Spurs have screwed us this season. Add in Arsenal. And they've done that again. They've done it a couple of times. Now they've just tonked Leeds. Do they rest on their laurels and potentially blow this one? Against another team, I'd say maybe. But against us, away from home, we are shocking. The stats don't lie. The figures don't lie. Honestly, that form in itself away from home is a sackable offence on its own. Regardless of what Cooper, or irregardless, should I say, of what he did last season, that away form is embarrassing, to say the least. 1 win against Southampton, and even that was edgy. But look, these are my thoughts on the game. What do I think the scoreline will be? I think it'll be how many, not who wins, in all honesty. If Forest get a goal, I'll be shocked. If we get a point, I'll probably die on stream. I'm sure there's a few of you who would like that. But I would say it's going to be 3+0. And I use the word plus. I know it sounds weird, but 3 minimum nil to Liverpool. If they score first, this could go back to Tesco FC. Buy one, get 2 free. It really could. But I just think Cooper will still try and low block him. It's just my thoughts. Let me know, as always, yours. They're more important than mine in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. It's good to be back. Still not fully 100% healthy and fit. The less I think about that Manchester United game, the healthier I'll get and quicker. You know what helps as well? If you do hit that like button, if you haven't already. So on your way out, please do hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new here. Come on, you Reds.